So last class I have completed up to the following Linux commands. So today we will be able to see the remaining commands. Then after we will see the basic shell scripting part. So once I complete, so if we have any time, so we will see the WebLogic server installation part also. Right. So I have completed up to here. So today we will be able to see working with the file permissions. If anybody have any issue, please drop the message. I will see and I will go through that issue. Okay. If you have any problem. All right. So working with the file permissions. See. So in Linux generally what happened, so whenever you are working with the files, I told you already in first class only, everything in Linux is treated like as a file only, right? Everything is treated like as a file only. Like even directories or everything, it is treated like as a file only. So how you can able to give the permissions, then whenever it required, how you can able to revoke, then how you are going to be working with the file permissions generally. So what are the groups here we have, working with the file permissions? What are the groups generally? So there are following groups here we have. So let's see. All right. So let's go through the theory first. Later we'll get back to practical. See what happened here. So whenever you see go to the Linux, the moment I use this command, ls command, see it has going to be listing the files, ls space -ltr. So it has going to be listing the files. See, there are some normal regular files and there are some directories. And if you notice properly, rw-rw-rw, there are three groups which are available here. First group, second group and third group. So let's see what are those groups generally. So you can assign the file permissions in Linux based on the permission groups, based on the three user based permission groups. One is owner, second one is group and third one is other, right? So one is owner, second one is group and third one is other. So what is owner? Then how you can able to assign? See, owner is nothing but who will create the file generally. So example, I create the file. So to owner, what kind of permissions generally which contains? So that's what generally which you can call it as owner. So the first user is nothing but what? Owner. So owner is nothing but what? Who created the file? So who created the file? In this is the owner permissions apply only the owner of that file who are created or directory. So generally the owner which is indicated by U. So the owner generally which is indicated by U, user. The next one, group. So what is a group generally? Group is nothing but what, So the group permissions will apply only to the group that has been assigned to the file or directory. So generally group which is identified by the G. And others means all users, whatever the permissions you will give you to others, so those permissions will apply to all users who are logged into the Linux system, Those are the three users here we have. First one is user, which is a owner or user, whatever it may be, which is identified by U, and group generally which is identified G, and others which is identified by O. So UGO, user, group and others. So there are three basic permission types here we have. Three permission types. Right. What are those? Read, write, execute. Read, write, execute. One is read, and second one is write, and last one is execute. See, read, write, execute. So what is the read and what is the read and what is the write and what is the execute? So generally read, which is identified by R, so generally R, write identified by W, and execute which is identified by X. So RWX. Let's see what is R. Read is nothing but what, users generally can read the file, the content of the file. So according to the operating system notation, read value should be 4. Read value should be 4. Read r equal to 4. And coming to the write means you can modify the content of the file and you can append whatever you want, you can able to do on the file, on the directory. So generally according to the operating system notation, octal notation, so write value 2. So execute means you can execute the file or you can change from one directory to other directory. So that is what generally execute permissions. You can apply on both file and as well as the directory. So what is the value, octal value for the execute? 1. So 4, 2, 6. Read, write, execute. So what is that? Read, write, execute. This is for one group. It's nothing but user. And G. So second permission, just read, write, execute. This is for group. And third group, so this is for others. So depends on the requirement, generally you can assign the permissions. RWX, 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 which means you are giving the full permissions to the file or directory. Example, see how you can able to assign the permissions generally. So let's see, after completing the 3 permission groups and as well as 3 permission types, actually read, write, execute, see how you can able to see or how you can able to display the file permissions, which means I want to know, so what are the permissions which contain file or directory under the current directory. ls space -l space file name. You can find out the permission level of each file. So whenever you list this file, it will display like this. So just now I have copied here, right? Same way it is going to be displayed over there. See that what happened? See the first letter is defined, which defines the type of the file. What type of file it is? If it is directory or if it is file. So it is going to be determine the type of the file. And second or first 3 like RWX, these are the owner permissions. Then next 3, these are the group permissions. Next 3, those are the other permissions. Hyphen means there is no permission, which means which permission does not have the group, right permission does not have. Similarly like that others also. Hyphen means there is no permissions, which means so that permission which does not have one group. So generally group or others. So this is about, normally whenever you use this command, it has going to be displayed. Let's go to over there and see. Yeah, any doubt?
No.
Right. So just go to over there, ls space -l. Then I just enter. If it does not provide any file name, then it has going to be displaying all the files and directories under the current directory. See, if you notice, these are the default permissions whenever you create the file, whenever you create the directory. And these are the default permissions whenever you create the file. See, this is what type of the file. Either it may be a directory or regular file or linked file. All these are type of the files, and these are the file permissions generally. RWX, RWX hyphen RWX. Later we will come to know this part. Before that, let us see here. After completing this, the basic file permission finding out on the file or directory. See, I want to know, so how you can able to change the file permissions generally. How you can able to change the file permissions. So here we have a command called chmod. Chmod is nothing but what, hello, somebody, I think, please can you be in a mood? I'm getting some noise. I don't know. Alright. See, chmod generally what it is a command. This is a command generally which is going to be changing the file permissions generally. So in which way generally you can able to change, you can modify and you can assign and you can invoke and you can revoke the file permissions. Okay. Then what are the ways here you have to assign the permissions? Here you have the following ways generally. So what are those ways? We have the following ways. The first one, octal method or absolute method. Octal method or absolute method. And the second one, so symbolic method. So first method we will able to see. What is octal method? See, octal method, which is depend on the octal numbers. Just now I showed you right here. Read 4, write 2 and execute 1. See, in the octal method generally how you can assign the permissions based on the numeric values or octal values which you can assign the permissions. Let's see chmod, sorry. First we'll able to see first one 0 0, no permissions. Next 1 1, I think execute permission. So 2 2, write. So 3 3, what is it? 3 1 2, execute, write and execute. And 4, so 4 read permission. And 5 write. And 6 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2, what is actually, 4 plus 2 means read and write. And 7 7. See why I am giving 3 here: user, group and others. So you can assign permission like this only. Right. Read, write, execute. So 777 means read, write, execute. Let's see example how you can chmod. So chmod space 777 space file name. This means you are giving the full permissions to the 3 groups like user, group and others. So I want to give you like chmod 755 space file name or directory name, whatever it is. 7 means for user you are giving the full permissions. For group you are removing the write permission, then even for others also. So in this way you can give the permissions. Example syntaxes. Okay. So then this is the first method for assigning the permissions. And second method, symbolic method, means using the symbols. So I told you right here you have the symbol. Symbolic mode means user means U, group means Z, others means O, and read means R, write means W, execute means X, right? So using the symbolic method, like here a plus means adding the permissions. Add the permissions. And minus means remove the permissions. And plus minus adding, removing the permissions. Then what happened? R means read and W means write and X means X means execute. Then groups generally, so user or owner. So it is going to be identified by O, and the group, so which is identified by G, and others, which is identified by O. This is user U, Z, O. So how you can assign? Like let's see example here.
Hello? Sorry?
Right. chmod RWX, or in other words, UGO plus, which is similar like that chmod 777. So RWX space file name, like this. Chmod for user, what I am doing, I am giving the full permissions. RWX, comma. For group, I am giving only read and or minus right? I'm just removing the write permissions. Even for others also, I'm just removing the write permissions, which means, so we're removing only the write permissions. Otherwise, we will give you like this also. Plus r x. I'm giving only read and execute permissions. And even for others also, I'm giving like that only. Plus r x. So space file. So in this fashion, we can assign the permissions. So these are the examples. So before we are, going to the practical, let's we see very important interview question. So what are the default file? What are the, or what is the default file permissions? Okay. Whenever you create the file, what are the default permissions? Default file permissions. So whenever you create a file, what is the default file permissions? It contains the file. So let's get back to the practical here. So just create one file if you have any doubt. So cat space greater than and some file name. Okay, you can give you the file, whatever this file name, and you just enter whatever the data which is and press console D. So I just create right? ls space hyphen ltr. So what is that p file? See here, it's graded just now. So these are the default permissions whenever you create the file. Just go over there and you just copy here. See the first one rwx hyphen, that is for user. Second one for group. Third one for others. RW. R means how much? 4. Plus W means how much? 2. Minus means there is no execute permissions. Even owner of the file also does not have the executable permissions. So for group also, so 4 plus 2 how much? 6. Then others, they can read the file, they cannot write and they cannot execute. Others, which means 4. So whenever you create the file, so what are the default permissions? 664.
Hello.
Yeah. Any question? Right. So whenever you create the file, so what are the default permissions? 664. Which means user also doesn't have the executable permissions, even group also, and others which
Hello.
contain only the read permissions. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, any doubt? I think Mahesh, do you have any doubt?
Hello.
No, I don't have anything.
No, somebody
Yeah,
asked me that.
this is Venkat.
Hi. Right. So whenever you create the file, so these are the default file permissions 664. Similarly like that, I want to know default permissions whenever you create the directory. mkdir space directory name, something like that. I want to, create some directory name, pdir. See, ls. I create, right. So I just create, the directory just now. So I want to know what are the default file permissions which contain that directory. So I just went over there, ls, see ls space hyphen ltr. So this is what pdir, whatever I created the directory. How I can come to know the file type, so which is going to be start directory. So the first word which is going to start D, which means it is a directory. So I'm just copying this one, go to over there and see here. So what are the default file permissions whenever you create the directory? See, hyphen D which is type of the file, and this is for user, and this is for the group, and this is for the others. R means 4, and which means read, and write means 2, and execute means 1. See, total permissions means 7. So whenever you create the directory, user which contain the full permissions, and even group also is containing the full permissions. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is nothing but what 7. So what about others? Generally, others does not have the executable permissions like r minus x, which means does not have the executable permissions. 4 plus 1, 5. So what are the default permissions, file permissions or directory permissions whenever you create? By default 775. 775. So these are the default file permissions. Then after that, so let's get back to the practical now, how we can able to change the file permissions for both directory and file using the two methods. So I can take any one of the file here. I'll go with the sample file. Okay, you can go with any file I just created. I want to assign the full permissions to the sample file. So how I can chmod 777 sample ls space -ltr. So just go to over there, see here alien which does not have the full permissions. So now, so after I give the permissions, see like there are full permissions, rwx for user, rwx for others, and rwx for group. See, I will change again chmod 755. I just enter for the same file ls space -ltr. See, I just go to over there here. The file permissions again which is going to change for this file. So depends on the requirement which you can assign the permissions. So even for the directory also, I just go to the WebLogic directory which contains the full permissions for user and group, and others does not have the executable permissions. chmod space 777 that what's the directory name? WebLogic. So I give ls space -ltr. See, this directory which contains the full permissions. So I can change now 700. I am giving the only full permissions to the user. For group and other does not have any permissions. Read, write, execute. ls space -ltr. See, only user which contain the full permissions, and group and others doesn't contain any permissions. Like this is the first method how you can assign and as well as remove and invoke the permissions. Then let's be using the second method, which is nothing but symbolic method. So I told you symbolic method means using the symbols which you can assign the file permissions, which means let's we see this what actually syntax. chmod, just go to over there here. So sample file I'm just changing. chmod for user rwx. For group, what I'm doing, write and execute permissions I'm giving. Even for others also similarly like that. What's the file name? Sample ls space -ltr. See, sample 1. See, so I have changed it. So I want to give the full permissions in that time. What you can able to do? See, chmod ugo plus rwx space file name. So I am giving I give you full permissions to that file. See, even similarly like that for the directory also. Just change the directory, that's it. Instead of file name, just provide the directory name. See, so I give you full permissions to this directory. So this is how generally you are going to be invoking and as well as revoking the file permissions. So after completing the file permissions, here you have another command called umask. See, so whenever you create the file or directory, so what are the default file permissions whenever you create the file? By default 664. So by default 775, which means which does not get the full permissions. But umask, whenever you set the umask, user mask actually. So whenever you set the umask, by using the touch, cat, vi, whenever you created by using those methods, you will get the full permissions, user file creation mask. Umask value is 002 by default whenever you set. So whenever you create using the touch or va editor and as well as using the cat command, you will get the full permissions, which is nothing but what 777. In the sense user, group and others. That depends on the combination which you can, like by default what combination you want to get, we want to create whenever you create the file with the file. So that depends on the requirement. By default 002. Just go to over there 775002 5277 777. After you set this value, whenever you create the file, so it is going to be creating with full file permissions like the user group and others, which does contain the full permissions generally. So that is what generally which we can call umask command, which of the three permissions are to be defined rather than granted. So umask will decide there should be what are the default file permissions when you create the file or directory. You can change it, depends on the requirement. So I'm just going, so you can check it, you can set the umask command here. Umask. See? So after whenever you create the file, you will get the full file permissions. So then after that you have the other command. I just created a file and as well as the directory. So what is the user and as well as the group? Let's space -ltr here. See, user is Linux and group also Linux. So in last class, so I have completed how to create the user, then how to create the password, right? So in last class I have created one user. What I want to do, I want to change the user and as well as the group to the specific file or directory. For changing the specific file, user and as well as the group, we should change the root user. It's nothing but what an administrator user. So what is the syntax? Su space username, su space root, then enter. I just changed it to the root user. See, I can check what are the users which are available in my machine. Like see, demo user and Linux. So what I need to do here, go to the Linux commands. See, I need to change the file permission. Say ls space user and as well as the group. I'll go with the sample only. So I can change instead of Linux, ch1, this is the syntax, space, new username, like demo user, and space, file name, example sample. So I just change ls space -ltr. See, user which I have changed. Then similarly like that, I want to change the group also. So why both user and group which is same? If you does not specify while creating the user, so by default username as group name. So whenever you have a specific requirement while you are creating the user, you just specify different group name. Otherwise, by default it will take the username only. So I want to change the group name also. chgrp, change group, space group name, demo user, space sample, ls space -ltr. See, have changed both user and as well as the group. So this is how you are going to be changing the user and as well as the group. Then see, ch means how you can able to change the shell, one shell to other shell, which means there are some different shells which are there, right? Ch shell, you can change from current shell to which you have already. If any other shell, you can change from current shell to any other shell by using ch. Right? How you can able to do arithmetic operations like in Windows using the cal command, right? Using the cal command, you can do all the like you can add, you can remove, whatever it requires, you can able to do. So same thing which you can able to do even in Linux also by using the bc command. BC is nothing but what? It is nothing but what? It is a language precision actually. So how you will able to do using the cal-c command in Windows, same which you can able to do using the BC command in Linux. It is a language that supports the arbitrary precision number with interactive execution of the statements. Just go to over there here, BC. I just enter. Sorry. See, just wait. No, same. It is not like that. Those are same. Like whatever I discussed here, the default. Sudhir, so what's your question? I got to know by going through the message. The default file permissions for the file and directory is same for every machine, or it is going to be different? No, it won't differ. So wherever you are in a Linux machine, I mean whatever the system, doesn't matter until unless if you are in a Linux, those are the default file permissions and default directory permissions whenever you create by default. 664 default file permissions and 775 default directory permissions. It won't change. It does not depend on the
Uh,
system. It won't change.
okay, sir, but I have tried the same one in my.
So then, I'm just discussing with the BC command generally here. BC is just like that, a calc command in Windows. Like how you are going to be working with the calc command. Similar way you can able to work even in Linux also. BC enter. Then you can provide 100, 100, whatever it may be, you can get. Yeah, then so everything which we can able to work just like calc command even in Linux also by using the BC command. After you complete the work, you just Control C to come out that command. This is how you just this is how you are working with the BC command. So then after completing, here we have the some filtering commands, which is nothing but what in real time what happened. So how you can able to see the log files, like whenever you start the server or whenever you are shutting down the server, if you have any issue, whether your deployed application working properly or not, where you can able to go and check. So go by going through the log files only. For checking, here we have the following commands. Those are called filtering commands. The first one, list command, more command, less command, add command, and tail command. So these are the commands generally. So by using these commands generally, which we can able to see the log file. So first we'll be able to discussing about that more file. So what is a more, and generally what is a more command generally? See, more is a command so which is going to be displaying one screen at a time whenever you want to see the file or whenever you want to view the file. So more is a command which is used to display one screen at a time, right? It has been one screen at a time it has been for displaying. But more command will allows only forward compatibility, which means it will go forward only. So it does not support the backward compatibility. It supports only the forward compatibility. It does not support the backward compatibility. You can move forward only. You cannot come back. So less command, more and less, which is very similar, which are used to filter or which is used to display the one screen at a time, but it supports both forward and as well as the backward compatibility. So most of the interviews generally they will ask what is the difference between the less and more, what is the difference between the cat and less, what is the difference between the cat and more. This is about less and more. And head command generally. It is a command which is used to display first 10 lines of the file. Assume like that. So you want to view some file, but I want to display only first 10 lines of the file by default. So go with the add file, add command. It is a command which is used to display the first n lines generally. Then by default it will display the 10 lines. If you want, you can display first 100 lines or first 200, depends on the requirement, which you can able to display the first n lines. Then tail is a command which is used to display last n lines. By default, it has been displaying the last 10 lines. Then what is the syntax here? Let's go to over here. More space, file name, just enter. Then less space, syntax name, less space, file name. Then head command, head hyphen 100, so file name. First 10 lines it is going to display. If you does not provide any number here, head space file name means by default it will display the first 10 lines only. Head is a command which is used to display the last n line from last n lines generally. Tail space hyphen f space file name. So this is a command which is going to be displaying the last 10 lines. Why you are giving the f? This is again interview question. F means generally what happen whenever you take the server log. So runtime server log. So log file it is going to be grows, right? Continuously it is going to be growing. So F means So whenever it has going to be growing, doesn't matter. Last 10 lines, last 10 lines only it has going to be displaying. So I want to display last 15 lines. 8 space hyphen 100 space file name to display the last 100 lines. So by using these 4 commands, which you can able to view the content of the log files and even normal files also, which you can able to see. Then why we're not going with the cat here? Even cat also you can view the content, but which is not displaying like page wise. Everything which is going to be displaying on same page only. So which means it won't display page wise generally. So that is the reason cat is also which is used to view the content of the file, which does not display page wise generally. So this is about filtering commands, how it is going to be display the content of the log files. So after completing this filtering commands, I'm just moving with other commands called pipe symbol. So this we will able to get later. So in WebLogic we will get this. So what is a pipe symbol? And what is a sleep command generally? Sleep is a command which is used to sleep for n seconds. Sleep space n syntax, which means so one command is which is running, so other command you want to run, then how much time it is going to be sleep in between those two commands. Like you can provide sleep n, which means it has going to be sleeps for n seconds generally. So by default you can provide 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, depends on the requirement. 2 minutes means we have to be provided like this. So like this fashion generally you can use the sleep command. I'll come to know pipe symbol later. See here, ampersand and command ampersand. Ampersand, which is a command, so you can run the process in the background. Ampersand, which is a command which you can run the process under the background. What is the syntax generally? Command space. After completing the command, at the end you just provide the ampersand. So that process which is going to be run under the background. Then, so let us come to here searching commands. So very important. I'll come to know this one pipe symbol. Later I'll come to know. So in shell scripting, what happened? Bypass. This is what actually single quote. So this single quote, what happened generally? Bypass the shell interpretation. Double quote means generally what happened generally? It has going to be group the variable together. And back quotes. This is what single quotes. This is the back quote. So whatever you have specified in the back quotes, it is treated like as a command. So in the shell script, what happened? You want to tell this is a command to the shell. So that time what happened? You will keep that name, the command name, in the reverse back quotes. So which means shell treat like it is a command. So while writing the shell script, you can use all these. Like pipe symbol. See, generally what happened, I will discuss while I am discussing with the processor related command, because I need to explain that, then only you will get the use of this. Pipe symbol generally, so what it is generally, pipe symbol which is nothing but what, because in Linux generally what happened, you can run only one command at the same time. So whenever you have any requirement, you want to run more than one command at the same time. But first command output as input to the next command. So we are going to be combining, right? So pipe symbol which is used to help redirect the output of first command, as input to the next command. So for that reason we use the pipe symbol. Practical we will see in the process related commands. Let's get back to here searching related commands. Very important things. So how we can search any file or directory in Windows? So go to here and you will get the search. Here you can able to search, provide the file folder name or file name. Then it has going to be displaying here. So whereas in Linux, everything which we can able to go through the some commands generally. Grep command, egrep command, and fgrep and find command. See, most of the cases we will go with the grep only, but in the interview they will ask what is the difference between the egrep, fgrep, and grep. So most of the cases we will go with the grep only. So grep, what is a grep command generally? Grep is a command which is used to search, for a string in given output of another command, and as well as it has going to be search a string. Only one string it has going to be searched at the same time. Either it may be a given output, either it may be a output in the given output or in the file. That is what generally you can call it as a grep command. So what is the syntax? Grep space string to which string you want to search space file name. So if it is a output, you just use that command. Let's we see both example we'll see here. The first one, grep space example web logic. I want to search web logic string in which file generally some grep example. See, so grep example. See, this string I am searching in this file, but ps space hyphen ef. So this is a command which is going to be displaying currently running processes in the machine, or in the Linux machine. But pipe symbol, what it is going to be, what it will do generally, output of first command as input to the next command. What is my input? In the output grep, it is going to be searching Java processes. So whatever the processes which are going to be running in the Linux machine, which is going to be displaying here, and grep Java means, so in that which is going to be displaying only the Java processes. So in these two ways generally use, which we can search the string in a given file or in the output, only one string. But coming to here, egrep and fgrep. Egrep means fgrep means faster grep. Faster grep means, so you can search more than one string at a time, which means one or more strings you can search at a time, but it does not support the it does not support like regular expressions. So then for that reason they came with a solution called egrep. Egrep means it is a combination of the grep and fgrep. Whatever you are able to do using the grep and fgrep, both you can able to do using the egrep. Egrep. Let's we see. See, grep is nothing but globally search a regular expression. See, something like that. This is example how you can search a file in the given file, then in the given output. This is called what there's what grep examples. Then what happened? Egrep, I told you, fgrep means it can search the multiple strings at the same time, but it does not support. It does not allow to search the regular expressions. But egrep is not like that. But you can search more than one string at the same time in the given file. But egrep, it is a combination of both. Additionally, it is going to support the wildcard characters also, just like starting with which letter, ending with which letter, all those wildcard characters also it is going to support egrep. This is the example of egrep, grep and fgrep, egrep. So let's get back to the practical grep. So I'm just creating one file here. Cat greater than grep example. So I'm just going with something like the DevApps training, and I'm just typing some random information. So SOA, AD, and Fusion. I just provide some random information here. So I want to search here, grep space, what is my string here, web logic. In which file I want to search generally, grep example. See, wherever it matches the web logic, so it is going to be displays those lines. Then, so in a given file, ps space, I will given output, f pipe symbol, grep space, Java. So by default what happened, there is no Java process which are running. If you will give all the user running processes and as well as the system running processes, it has going to be displayed currently in the system. But in that what I am doing, I want to display only the Java process. There is no Java process which are running in the currently running processes. So this is how you are using the grep, and grep or egrep and fgrep does not require for us actually. So we just go with grep only. Then coming to here, find command. So find is a command. So how you can able to find the files, given in the given path. So you can find a file based on the name and based on the modification time and based on the size. You can find the file using the different combinations. You can find the file. So later we'll get back to the practical. We'll go with the which command. See, which is a command which is used to display the full path of the commands. Example, I have installed the Java. I assume like that. I just completed the Java installation. I want to know full path about the Java, which is nothing but from which path it is going to be running, which is space Java. So like this. For that reason, generally, you can able to use the which is a command which is used to source the full shell path or shell command. Then what is a command generally? So what is the command which gives the brief description about all the commands. Brief description about all the commands. Example, I want to know about some command. Any command. So which you will by default whatever all the system commands which you can able to come to know. Brief description about that command. What is PWD? It will display about the PWD. Just like another kind of field it is. What is a command? Which is used to display the brief description about all the system commands. Like next varies. See, which is for it is going to be shows the shell path or shell commands. The Java which is running from which path, that complete shell it is going to be displaying. For custom, so varies command, it is going to be locate the source of system commands. Example, I am running the BWD command, which is running from the which path, which is running from the which source. It is going to be displaying the source of system command, source path of the system commands. So from which path it is going to be running, varies command. And locate command. See, very important interview question. What is the difference between the find and locate? So find, you can search the files, in the given path, and there are a number of options which are associated with this find command. But coming to the locate command, it can search in the entire file system, right? So I want to search some file. You just locate and file name. It is going to be search. Immediately it is going to be searched in the entire file system. So in the file system, how many places that file which is located, that many times it is going to be displaces. But whereas here exact location it is going to be displaced using the find command. So that is about the locate command. So locate command does not have any options. So it just shows in how many times it is going to be how many times it is going to be stored in the file system, that many times it is going to be displaced. So this is about the locate and as well as the find command. So let's get back to the practical. So we'll go to over here, find command. See, find space, if I define space dot space web logic. See, so that many places that web logic which is available here, web logic. See, so that means current directory. What happened? I told you under the current directory you are searching. So there are a number of options which are associated with, right? Man space find. Search a file or directory in the given hierarchy. See, you just go to over there the options. It is going to be displaying the following options generally. So let's see what are those options generally here. See, number of days. A means actually what it is, access to time. Based on the access to time also which you can search. A time means access time, C time means current time, and M time means modification time. This is what modification time, and name means based on the name generally which you can able to search the files. So those are the patterns generally, using the patterns which you can able to search the files. Like example, so how you can find last 10 days log files, last 5 days log files, like using that access time. Access time in which you can able to get those files. That is about the find command. Coming to the which, just go to the here which space Java. So there is no Java here, so it is available in other Linux machine here. So go to here, which space Java. So you will get right now you are not getting anything right here. So after I set my Java path, no worry about this. I'm just going setting the Java path, and later you can come to know. Which space Java. See, Java is running from this path. Like you can come to know. Like what is which. So see. So it will give the brief information about the system command. It shows the full path of shell command. This is what shell command, right? It shows. So what is command generally? Which is used to give the brief description about the system command. So where is command generally what it is? Where is pwd. So from which path generally which is running? /bin pwd. So where is init? See, has been init. Like that, any command you can type from which path generally which is going to be executing, you can come. See, su command, right? Then ls, see, bin/ls. Like that, it is going to be displaying the, source path of the system files. And finally, locate command. Locate space d files. I'm just searching some file name, directory name called d files. I just enter. See how many locations, so in the file system which is available in those locations only. How many locations which is available? So that many locations which is going to be displayed. So this is how generally you are going to be working with the locate command. Sometimes generally what will happen, if command cannot found issue, you will be able to get while you are working with your local machine. So locate space some Linux cmd command. See, you will get something like that. So which means which does not update in the Linux locate command which does not update to in this database. What we need to do? Update d. Copy and shift to the root and use this command. And then you will get that issue. Please provide. So it is going to be update. Then after that, so use the same command. So like let's use space Linux. Locate. Yes. See, which is available under the location. Understood? This is how you are going to be working with locate command. So all these are called searching commands. So after completing this, I'm just moving into the process related commands. So what is a process? Then what kind of processes which are available in the Linux? So what is process generally? So process, which is nothing but what it is a collection of user and as well as the system running processes generally. User and as well as the system running processes. In Linux, there are two processes which are available. So what are those processes? One is, so in other words, which is called job control. So what are those processes generally? The first one is what foreground processes or foreground jobs. Second one, background processes or background jobs. Background processes or background jobs. Hi, I'm getting some noise. So TE command generally what happened? TR command and TE command generally. TR command generally, what happened? Which is used to display character by character it is going to be replacing and display. But TE command, so cat space TE space file name, generally what happens generally, cat space file name, you are displaying the output on the screen. But simultaneously what I am doing, I want to write that file to the some other files, some X files generally. That time we will go with the TE command. Let's do the practical here, TR command and TE command. I'm just going over here. Right. So cat space TR example. Or something like some information we can type it, okay? Something like that. I just provide some information. Press Control T. So what happened here? Cat space cat TR example, right? Here what we are doing here. What is a TR command generally? Character by character it is going to be replacing. So let's see first TR. So AEIOU TR. So AEIOU. Then I'm changing from A plus right TR example. See, character by character it is going to be replaces. Wherever it is going to matches these, it is going to be changing into this characters. It is going to be replacing old character with new character. This is character by character. I want to replace all characters. That is what I need to do. -z. So character by character which is going to be displayed. But TE command cat space TR example. So output which is going to be displaying here, right? This output I want to copy to the sum or I want to write to the sum X files. How many files you want? TE space F1 or something like that, Then some file S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. How many files you want? He will give you. You will provide over there. This output, which is going to be copying to all these files, while it is going to display. Press enter. Cat space C. So for that reason, we'll use the cat command. This TE command. It's a very important command. Then sort command generally. Sort is a command which is used to sort the content in ascending order based on the ASCII value. So by default it is going to be sorts in ascending order. Sort space or sample or means reverse. It is going to be displaying in a reverse order. Then sort space use sample. Sample is nothing but file name. It will display the only unique lines. Then how you can able to sort the numeric values? Sort space -n space file name. Like it is going to sort a file in ascending order. All the numeric values. -n means numeric. Unique is a command which is used to display the in the given file only unique lines only. It is going to be sorts. It is going to be displayed in a sorted order. Unix space file name. Unix space -u sample. It will display the only unique non-duplicate lines, which is nothing but unique lines. -d means duplicate lines. C means count. How many times it is going to be duplicated. CMP command, which is used to compare the two files and display the first difference. Syntax is this one. Diff command, which is used to display the all differences between those two files. This is only first difference, so it will display the all differences. Then WC command generally, which is used to count the words and as well as the lines and as well as the characters in given file. So you can -w means word, -c means character. Then you can go with the combination LW, LC, WC and all the combinations you just go. Let's get back to the practical. So cat space greater than n sort. I'm just providing some number. You can provide some data there. Okay. So press Control. Cat insert. See, this does not even sort it out, right? Cat space. Oh, sorry. Sort space n sort. N sort. So by default, it has going to be sorted in ascending order, right? So whenever it requires, see, if you want, you can display in a descending order also. This is how generally you are going to be working with sort command. Then unique command generally. So I'm just creating one file here, cat space example unique. Right. So just provide that with duplicate values. Cat space see unique example unique. See, it has going to display only unique lines. -D, it will display only duplicate lines. -C, it has going to be count the duplicate lines. How many times it has going to be duplicated or repeated. This is about the unique command. Then WC command, WC space -L W character TR example. TR example. See, cat space TR example. One line, 2 words, and 17 characters. So like that. So it has going to display by the WC curve. It will display the output whenever you give the WC -L W and C and space file name. Lines, characters, and words will display. Then these are about all the commands. The next, performance related commands, which means you can by going through all these commands, you can come to know performance, or you can monitor about the performance about all the processes, which are all the user processes and as well as the system processes which are running in the Linux machine. W command generally. W is a command which is used to display the information about the users currently which are logged into the Linux machine and what they are doing and how long the Linux system has been running. Very important entry question. So how to know how long the Linux server which is running? There are two commands here we have, including how many users which are going to be logged on the machine and what are their processes. So you can use the W command and as well as the uptime. W command will give the more information than uptime. So uptime also is used to know the how long the server which is running and the current time, how long the system has been running since from the past 15 minutes, how the system load average, everything which is going to be displaying. W and uptime both are displaying the same information, but W which is going to display the more information. Let's get back to the practical here. Go W. See, there are 4 users which are logged in. So this is about 4 users. This is about, since from this time it has going to be up. There is no load average. So ideal time, everything which is going to be displaying about the system. Then coming to the uptime. See, it will display like this: how long the system has been up, how long the system has been or server has been running, how many users logged in, then what is the load average on the system. So this is about the W and uptime. Then free and top command generally. Top is a command which is used to display the top processes which are running in the system. So by default, which is going to be displayed based on the CPU utilization or CPU usage. Which process which is going to be used the high CPU utilization, so that which is going to be displayed on the top. Free command generally which is used to display the free and as well as the used and as well as the swap memory which is available in the Linux machine. Free means by default it will display the kilobytes. Free space -M means it will display the megabytes. Go to here, top command. See, like how many processes which are running, 1 running, 146 sleeping, how many stop, so total how much memory, then how much swap, how much used, still how much left. Then see here CPU, which process which is going to be using the high CPU utilization, that process which is going to be displaying on the top. And next then like that it is going to display. So by using this stop command, so you can resolve the following issue called high CPU utilization. High CPU utilization issue. So whenever you get high CPU utilization, by going to the top command, you can come to know which process causing the high CPU utilization. Free command. See, by default it will display in kilobytes, hyphen m in a megabytes. H means generally hyphen m. It will display in a MBs. This is about free command. Then lsof command. lsof means list open files. It has going to be list the about input and as well as the output files, which is nothing but all the open files which are currently in the system. It has going to be displayed by the lsof command. See, if you know the port number, how you can come to know the process name? So this is a syntax, very important interview question. If you know the port number, how you can come to know the process name? I'm just going over there, lsof. See, I just typed the lsof command. So I told you, it has going to display the all open files which are currently in the system. Then lsof port number, example 3001. See, if the process 3001 which is associated with some process, that process will display here. This is how you are going to be, displaying the process name if you know the port number. Do you use a command generally which is going to be estimates the file space usage? In the sense, under the current directory, I want to know each file, usage, file space usage. So df command, so which is going to display the file system disk space usage, right? By default, it will display in kilobytes. If you want, you can display in GBs also. df-t means it will display the, type of the file system. So du. So it is going to be displaying. Right. So it is going to be displaying, see, size of each file under the current directory. Left side it has going to display. So in readable format, but du space -k, du space -m, it will display in MBs. Du space -mh, it will display in a human readable, H means human readable format. The next df space -k. So it is going to be displaying the file system space usage. By default, it will display in a kilobytes. So if you want to provide H, it will display in a GBs. How much GB which is available, how much GB which is used, how much still it is left. This is about df and du command. Then df space -T, which means it is going to display type of the file system. So it is going to display the type of the file system. This is how it is going to display the type of the file system. So then vmstat command, see free command and vmstat command, which is something like that similar only. vmstat means virtual memory statistics, which is going to be displays the information about process, memory, paging and block IO, traps and the CPU activity. That it is going to be displaying. vmstat-e means it will display the all information. See, I want to display every 2 seconds or every 3 seconds, then how many times it want to display, which I want to display. Example, vmstat space 2 space 6. With the interval of 2 seconds gap, so it is going to display the 6 times. Then yes means it will display only the statistics. M means it will display the only memory, virtual memory statistics. Then iostat command. So this iostat command, which is going to display or about the system input and output, device loading, system input output device loading, including the NFS, in this is network file system. It is going to display the CPU statistics, input output device loading with network file system monitoring. So all that information which is going to be displayed by using this iostat command. So iostat-d to display the displays only the disk IO statistics. Then SAR command which is also similarly like that IO-stat command, which is used to collect the system information, like like all the processes information, CPU activity, all that information which is going to display the SAT command. Let's get back to the practical here. So VM stat, see, it will display like this. VM stat space icon. VM spare 2 space 5. General of 2 seconds here, it has been displaying 5 times and it just come out automatically. Right. So then next IO stat. See, so it will display all these like how much time it has been divided, total idle only. We are not running any processes, right? IO stat 2 comma 4 to interval with interval of 2 seconds it will display 4 times and coming out. Right. Stat same, just like IO stat command. Stat space 2 comma 6 or 3 comma 3 space 6. Like it will display 6 times with interval of 3 seconds gap and coming out. Like every system, it has been displaying about the system information, just like idle time and CPU activity. Then what are the commands you have scheduled priority using the nice command, everything which you can come to know. So this is about VM stat, SAT and IOStat command and ulimit command. Very important ulimit command. By using this ulimit command, you can fix too many open files issue. So what is the ulimit command? Ulimit command generally, ulimit command which is used to provide the way to limit and control the usage of the system resources, such as like system threads, files, and network client connections on a pre-process and per process and per user basis. Okay, per process and per user basis. You can control based on the user per process or per user basis about all the system control. So using the ulimit command. So by default, how you can list ulimit space -a. So these are all the recommended settings generally. File size by default, unlimited. CPU time unlimited. Virtual memory unlimited. Number of open files maximum you can keep 6400 and 0. So by default 1024 only. So maximum you can give up to 64000. How many processes it has going to be allowed? 64000 only. Just get back to the practical here. Ulimit hyphen a or something like that hyphen a. See, all these parameters you can control using this ulimit command. See, what are the maximum process which can allow? 1024. I can change hyphen u 2000. I just change. See, 1024 to 3000. So all these processes, like you can control whatever. So you can control all the system, all the control about the uses of the system resources, like such as threads, files, network connections on the per process and per user basis. This is about the ulimit command. See how you can come to know number of open files. So what are the, by default, what are the count here number of open files? 1024. chmod, sorry, ulimit hyphen n. I am just giving space 2. See, you cannot open. Understood? Too many open files issue. So what is this actually problem? How you can then let's see. Let me just log out and re-log in again. Otherwise you just resize the number of open files. Now you are not getting ulimit space hyphen a. So this is how generally you can fix the too many open files issue. Then set is a editor just like VA editor. So sometimes they will ask what is set editor. Set stands for the stream editor, which is used for search and as well as replace the string. But right, search and as well as replace the string by using the set editor just like VA editor. But without opening the file, you can search the old string and you can replace with the new string. This is what syntax. Same syntax only. You just provide the set old string with new string and space file name. So you can delete and you can replace whatever you want. You can able to do without opening the file by using this shed editor or shed command. Then final one, control cron tab or cron job generally. See, cron tab or cron job, so which is used for scheduling the jobs. Like what is the importance of the scheduling the jobs? So in real time generally what happen, every time manually which we cannot execute the process at specified time. So by using the cron tab or jobs scheduling, we can schedule the jobs automatically which is going to be executed at the specified time. So for that reason we use the cron tab or job scheduling. Cron tab means which is used to execute the jobs repeatedly at given time. So once you schedule the cron job, automatically which is going to be execute those cron jobs depends on the scheduling. Example, every day I want to take the backup of the log files. I want to take the backup about the log files every day at 9:30 a.m. I can schedule the job, then automatically every day 9:30, which is going to be rotate the log file and creating the new file. So this is about the cron job. Then what is the syntax here? Here we have the total 5 stars and after that space command execute. So what is the first star generally? Minutes 0 to 59 we can specify. Second one hour 0 to 23 and third one day of month 1 to 31. Then fourth one month 1 to 12 and fifth one day of the week, which means 0 to 6. 6 is nothing but Sunday. If it is 06 means Sunday. So 1 to 7 means 7 Sunday. 0 to 7 means 7 Sunday. 0 to 6 means 6 Sunday. So command to execute means you can provide the command. So which command generally needs to be executed. So what are the options here we have generally? Cron tab space -n. It has going to list the cron jobs which you already configured. If it does not have, it won't display any job. It will display there is no job section. Cron tab space -e means you can create the new cron job, otherwise you can edit the existing cron job. Cron tab space -r, you can remove the existing cron job. So those are the options here we have. Let's see how you can schedule the example cron job, or we can set the one cron job, like something like that. How you can schedule the cron job, like example every day. So I want to take the backup on 10th June 8:30 a.m. right? So let's see. This is what syntax. This is what Excel example syntax this is. Then first means 30th minute 8:30, right? 8:30, this is like this. 10th day 6th month and every day of the week. Star means if it does not specify anything means every day of the week it is going to be executing. I'm just copying this one. So go to here. In this cron tab space -l, there is one cron job already. I'm just removing that cron job. Now you can see no cron jobs for the Linux. -e. So what I want to do, press escape, save and exit. Then which is automatically take the backup. So whatever you specified here. This is how generally we are going to be scheduling the cron jobs. So this is how you can use all the commands without scripting. So all the commands which I have completed in the Linux, I didn't miss any command. So go through all the commands So tomorrow we'll see like 5 to 10 minutes set scripting part. So we'll start the web logic. So tomorrow we will start the web logic installation. If anybody, will not download they will, if anybody, they did not download WebLogic software, please download the WebLogic software from the www.oracle.com. Otherwise, so I will share the software to you people, which is I already have in my Google Drive. Please download from the Google Drive. Then, so tomorrow I will go through all the installation steps. Then you can set up in the local machine environment. Alright, so I'm stopping here. Let me know if you have any doubts, please. Any doubts? No, I didn't get your Unix commands. Yeah, I will share you, okay? I will share you.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, any doubt?
Hi, this is David.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, go on. I'm able to hear, go on.
So actually tomorrow you're going to install WebLogic, right?
Yes, 10 to
Uh,
15 minutes I will take the shell scripting part. So I will explain. Then later I will start the WebLogic installation.
in Ubuntu or like Red Hat you're installing? Which actually we installed I installed a VMware. On that I have a Ubuntu and Red Hat.
No problem, you can install even in Ubuntu also, same file only.
Ubuntu I have installed WebLogic and I've tried it and it's a bit like confused and I followed the videos of in YouTube and I've tried it actually. But I
What
want to
happened?
install in Red Hat Linux.
Okay, okay. You can.
Okay.
So what happened
Okay.
in this case? What happened? Instead of going with Ubuntu,
Yeah.
you can download the Red.Linux ISO file.
Okay.
Then you can remove and you can create another virtual machine.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it, sir.
Yeah. So if
I'll
you
download
have,
Red Hat.
yeah, you can download the Red.ISO file. Then
Okay.
you can create another virtual machine with Red.Linux. Then
Yeah,
you will work with
I'll do it,
Red.Linux.
sir.
And why I am telling you will practice in the Red.Linux. I mean there
Yeah.
is no machine called Ubuntu you can find in the production machines. So most of the cases you will get either maybe Oracle Linux or Red.Linux. I mean
Yeah,
Linux.
that's what. Yeah.
So that Ubuntu, Fedora, all those are the flavors of the Linux, flavors of the Unix actually, including the
Yeah, I
Linux.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
So very rare which we can use in in the production environment. But every command which can work in even Ubuntu or Fedora, like whatever you are working in the Linux, there is no difference.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
There is no difference. Even you can set up in the Ubuntu environment also. There is no problem. I don't know what kind of problem you are getting. I think so.
Uh,
You are familiar with the Red Hat Linux. That's why you get confused because even the terminal close also in reverse in Ubuntu. So in reverse.
okay. No, I've done only one time. That's the first time which I've done in Ubuntu. And
No, instead of that you just go with the Linux. There is Red Hat Linux. There is no problem. So you can practice in
definitely.
you can practice in any flavor. Okay,
Okay, right,
you
sir.
can practice in any flavor. I think so. There is no installer for the Mac. So you just come to know there is no installers for the Mac actually. So for the Linux and
No,
Linux,
I'm using Windows.
no, no, no. I'm
Really.
talking. I'm talking about the other guy actually. I don't know
Oh,
his
okay,
name.
fine.
His name is. Sudhir, there is no WebLogic software for the Mac. I will show you to you now. Go to here, Oracle downloads. The same file, 64-bit file you can download and you can set up for Mac also. There is no other file which is available. Go to the download and middleware. So here click on the middleware downloads and go to the WebLogic server. and go down, see all the WebLogic server downloads. Go down here. See, are you able to see any file? Like, see here, go down here. This is for what? WebLogic server software with Linux, okay? And this is Windows, Mac. Here you have 32-bit, you can download. But 12C onwards, there is no Mac actually. So if you go with the 12C, there is no Mac, only Windows and Linux only. There is no 32-bit. That's why there is no Mac software. So you will get only the 64-bit. You can try it. I think it will give you some issues actually in the Mac machine. You can try it. Okay? 32-bit I think which you can find. Yours is 32-bit or 64-bit. I don't know Mac machine. So still yours are 32-bit or yours is 64-bit, right? There is no 64-bit here. You can download Mac. First you can download the Java for Mac. Then later you can download this Java file actually. This is the bin file. So 64-bit also. There is no. You can get Linux, Windows, and Solaris. This generic file which is there. Generic file you can download. Then you can start installation. First you can download the Java. Later you can download the generic. Then you can try it. I think so. It will give some issues actually. Alright, so we'll see tomorrow installation part, then you can come to know, then later you can try it in a different, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alright, so thank you so much. For Windows, which one, here you have the Windows, here yours is 32-bit or 64-bit? Srini, I guess, 64-bit means here you can find class 86 32-bit, then here you can download the. No, doesn't matter whether it may be Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8 or doesn't matter. For Windows environment, you can get only the generic file. You can download the generic file for 64-bit. First you have to be install the Java in Windows. Then later you can set the Java path. Then later you can install the this generic file. JDK file, yes. So JDK file only. JDK 6 for 11G. And JDK 6, then you can directly download this generic and you can start that installation. So I will tell you the command tomorrow how you can install WebLogic in your local machine. Either it may be in Windows or Linux, doesn't matter, okay? Alright, so
So will you show how to install JDK also tomorrow?
I will show you in Linux because in the production we always go with the Linux only. I will show you in the Linux. I will show you in the Linux.
Okay.
Because in Windows, like pretty straightforward steps. You just double click and click on next. So
Yeah, I need it in Linux actually.
yeah, I will show you in the Linux.
Okay, right.
In the Linux, I will show you how to install and how to set the environment variables and how to set the class path. Then later you can install the WebLogic. Okay. All right. Any more doubts? Right. So tomorrow we will meet at same time. Hopefully everyone please download the WebLogic software, and if anyone doesn't set up the environment, you can set up. So if you have any issues while you are setting up or while you are downloading, then please drop the message to the Sudhakar. Then I will forward Red.Linux and as well as VMware software, including the WebLogic software also, if you are unable to download. Alright? No doubt, right? Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow at 7. Bye.